That is a 3D printed warp core from the Starship Enterprise. Enterprise D, next generation, late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, I actually found this model a couple years ago on Thingiverse. However, since then, the designer who created all the 3D print files, he's really taken advantage of the abilities that the Bambu series of printers has now, and actually other series of printers with the multiple color and filament changes, things like that. And he's really improved on it. Looks really cool. Not really that hard to build. I mean, you got to be able to do some soldering, stuff like that. If you do, though, if you can't do anything like that, he will sell you the light module inside. You can buy it on his Etsy page or something like that. It'll all be linked with the link for the files on Maker's World. But yeah, there's a bunch of videos out there really getting into how to put this together and how to build it. I think the one I saw was almost an hour long. I'm going to try and keep this at 5 to 6 minutes, just a quick breakdown, give you an idea. If you do want to take something like this on, it's actually not that hard of a project to do. So we have 7 LEDs that go across bottom. That lights up the lower part of the base that says the NCC-1701-D in it. We've got 5 strips, all with 11 LEDs on them for the antimatter section. Same deal for the matter section up top. Another 5 strips with 11 LEDs on it. The intermix chamber's got a 10 LED section, and then we've got 2 6 LED sections for the plasma conduits. And then we got the little module that controls all that, and I'll get into that in a minute. The switch and our 5-volt power supply. Now this section I've already assembled because I had to glue it to work on it. It's a single plate. Takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours on the Bambu P1S to print. So you've got a connection bar between the two. This is the section where the lights for the intermix chamber mount to, and then you've got your antimatter and your matter section. And it might be hard to see in the camera, but there's a little spot right there. There's a kind of a hook that this thing sits onto and glues onto. And one thing to take note when you do put it together, you can see the top right here. It's kind of flush where the bar goes in, and at the bottom you've got this piece that extends out, or at the top, depending which way you look at it. That is, you got to make sure this extra piece is hanging out, because that is what allows it to connect into the supports. Now for the lights to use, the model builder recommends the BTF lighting, which is no big deal. They don't need to be waterproof. They need to be the single lamp controllable or programmable, depending how you want to look at it. You want the 100 LEDs per 1 meter strip. So you got to buy 2 packages to get all the lights you need. A little dark down here, but that is the ESP board that controls all this. Little microcomputer. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got an old school micro USB port on it. I'll have to dig through my pile of cables to find one of those. But yeah, wLED.me. Yeah, that's the website. They got an app and everything. And the builder does give a configuration file, because you have to tell this thing how many LEDs are in the system. And then there's a whole bunch of custom pre-programmed light flashing sequences, we'll call it, that he's got set up. So we'll get this programmed, and we'll take it up, wired in, and test the lights before we start assembly. Okay, we're all wired up. The ESP is programmed. I got a temporary power supply on it. And as you can see, we've only got 30 lights turned on right now out of all of them. And that is because by default, the configuration for these is only for 30 LEDs. I wanted to get it set up, get the Wi-Fi running. A little note with these things, the Wi-Fi range isn't super strong on them. I couldn't make it work downstairs in my basement to talk to it. I'm up here in my shop, which actually the Wi-Fi router is in the closet right behind me. But that has allowed me to, we can get the configuration up, and as you can see right there, I don't know if that'll focus in or not, but that's the length 30 lights. So we're going to change that to 139, and we'll save that, and there we go. Okay, now that we got good power to this, good Wi-Fi connection, as you can see, I uploaded the preset configuration. I didn't do the actual configuration for the unit, because if you do that, well, I mean, it's great, but you lose your Wi-Fi connection. So on the app, I got the app updated. We'll go ahead and turn it on, and you can see things are working. Got to adjust some of the lights in within the framework just so everything lines up right. But we got all kinds of neat lights here. We got this is just their, they call this the matter drip. We can do a red alert. Let's go to warp 1. See the different colors going. We got a warp 9, a little faster. Hey, we get overtaken by the Borg, but you can see all the lights are moving in the directions they're supposed to. So now it's time to start the assembly. Okay, so we get some base parts ready. I guess I could have cleaned all this up for the video, but hey, it's a workshop. It's a work in progress. I'll clean it up when I'm done. Truthfully, really I will. But yeah, so we got our power switch installed in the base unit. So we're going to start with our coil here. So that coil is going to go in. This is going to go on top like so, and that coil will go in there, and that's our bottom assembly started. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit of glue on these tabs and glue all this together. Okay, we get the intermix chamber on. There is a little piece of clear print you've got to glue inside there at the dilithium matrix area. I didn't film any of this. This is just the little warp plasma conduits where the LEDs holding the two sides there. The upper set of rings, so this coil is loose. I did glue these two sections together just to give it a little more rigidity. And you are supposed to, it says use instrument wire to connect through here to kind of glue it all together. That gives just like some support bars here. The instrument wire listed appears to be almost like a type of guitar string. Well, I couldn't find any in black. Everything up here was silver. Silver didn't make any sense, so I'm just going to go without it. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll put the last little bit on here. We'll try to do this one-handed to hold the camera in the other hand. So that's that section. There's the top piece drops in. And we'll find a spot that it lines up properly. Right there. There we go. That's it. So there it is. 3D printed Enterprise D warp core with a wLED controller. Looks kind of neat. I pre-programmed it, so as soon as you turn it on, this is the warp 9 smooth preset. So it's called by the designer. Comes up, pretty nice looking like that. The issue I was having with the lights not sitting right, a little hot glue in behind the top edge has held everything in place. Yeah, so that's it. Well, like I said, a little different content on the channel than normal, but yeah, just another one of my many hobbies, I guess. Till next time, thanks for watching.